Can you hear me now? Hello. Do you know what this is? This was my hearing aid, and I would like to talk to you about what it's like being hearing impaired in America. When I was 4, my mom noticed that my speech sounded funny and not quite right when I would talk. She thought that when she called my name from another room and I didn't answer, that I was just not listening or paying attention. So she talked with my preschool teacher to see how my listening and speech was in class and decided to have my hearing tested. Even though I had a family doctor, only 16% of family doctors routinely test for hearing loss. So I went to a specialist, an ENT or an ear, nose, and throat doctor at Nationwide. My doctor did some hearing tests and figured out that I had a hearing condition called tympanoscoliosis. Tympanoscoliosis, or scarring in the eardrum, is a condition that made it hard for me to hear. And because I couldn't hear, I had trouble with my speech and how I talked. This made it hard for other people to understand me too. I didn't really participate in a lot of classroom discussion because I didn't always know what was going on, and I didn't answer any questions because I felt people wouldn't understand me. This made me feel left out and sad. It's a fact that a mild hearing loss can cause a child to miss as much as 50% of classroom discussion. To try to solve part of my hearing problem, I had surgery on both of my ears. This helped, but I still had hearing loss, so I got a hearing aid. At first, I didn't want a hearing aid at all, but then I got used to having my hearing aid. Sometimes when I was washing my hands in the restroom, people would come up and ask, "What is that in your ear?" It was annoying, and people would ask the same question over and over again. I had my hearing aid for 2 years until I had a hearing test, and the results showed that my hearing had gotten better. I no longer needed my hearing aid. I felt kind of sad to lose my hearing aid because I was so used to it. And although I still have hearing loss, I'm glad my hearing improved because I know how hard it is in school and other places to not be able to hear. In America, some facts about hearing loss are that approximately 3 million children have a hearing loss, and 1.3 million of them are under age 3. 15% of children between the ages 6 and 19 have a measurable hearing loss and at least one ear, just like me. In all, 48 million Americans are hearing impaired, and more than 25 million of them do not have a hearing aid. This makes me feel bad for them because I know how much my hearing aid was able to help me communicate with friends and family and was able to help me do well in my classroom and school. I know this because most people can't tell that you have hearing loss just by looking at you. It makes it hard for people to understand how this affects the lives of so many people. Helen Keller explained to the world, blindness cuts us off from things, but deafness cuts us off from people. I think that is true, at least I know it was for me. In all, 48 million Americans are hearing impaired, and it can develop at birth or at any age. I believe it is important that we recognize that hearing loss is a disability and that more needs to be done to help those who have it. I'm so glad that I was able to get the help I needed so that I could hear and understand the world around me. Being hearing impaired in America can be hard, but with the right treatment, we can make this a better place for everybody with this disability. Thank you.